This is a production of Cornell University.
Good morning, and welcome to the Agricultural Sciences and Plant Sciences Undergraduate Recognition Ceremony. My name is Christine Smart, and I'm the director of the School of Integrative Plant Science. I'm also a scientist, and I study diseases of vegetables. I always like to throw that in because I'm not exclusively an administrator. So today, first I would very much like for all of us to congratulate our 2019 graduates. I would like to take this opportunity as well for all of you, including the graduates and the families, and myself, to thank some of the faculty that have taught and mentored your students. So faculty, could you please stand up? As instructors and advisors, the faculty have spent countless hours with your students, and I have to say that none of it is ever a burden. Working with the students is by far and away the most wonderful thing that we get to do as faculty. And seeing all of you graduate today is just absolutely exciting for us, so we're really happy to be here. Finally, I want to welcome all of the family and the friends who are in the crowd today. It's been a long journey for your graduate, and we very much appreciate the support that you've given them. So thank you very much. The final set of folks I'd like to thank are our directors of undergraduate studies and the major coordinators. So for the agricultural sciences, that would be Dr. Tony DiTomaso and Carrie Richards. And for the plant sciences, that would be Dr. Marvin Pritz and Leah Cook. Leah? So over the past 4 years, I've had the real privilege of getting to know many of the graduates, and I would like to say that one of the things that I've seen is how their confidence has built over the past 4 years. From being very tentative and not knowing exactly what they wanted, to really coming into their own and developing life plans that, importantly, may or may not change. I've had discussions with my own advisees and many of the students on what about failure and fear of failure. And if you remember nothing else from today, you may have heard this from Bill Nye yesterday, who is a bit more of an eloquent speaker than I am, but please do not be afraid to fail. So I think that sometimes students get in their mind that if they try something and it's not successful, well, then that's a failure, and what do? You're done. Or if you jump into a position, then you're locked into that. And I think, importantly, as Bill Nye yesterday, he explained how he went from engineer to public television, onto advocacy for science. And so your career can change over the course of the time, and you're really not locked in. From my own life, I can tell you that I went to Michigan State University. My regalia is green. And when I went to Michigan State, I actually entered wanting to become a zoologist. I wanted to study animals, and yeah, the students that know me are cracking up. And then I took some classes, and I realized that when you're studying animals, they're not always alive. And I have to be honest that I hadn't really processed that before I got into things like comparative physiology. And it's really hard to study the internal physiology of a living animal. And my skill set does not allow me to do that. I was miserable. And so I was a junior in college and I didn't know what to do. And I found plant sciences. I ended up graduating as a biology major, but I went into plants. And then when I graduated, it was in no way, wow, I want to be a plant pathologist and study vegetable diseases for the rest of my life. And then I want to become an administrator. That was not in my playbook. I wanted to be an ecologist and an environmental scientist. So I entered a PhD program at Michigan State in plant ecology. And I was really bad at it. We all have our skill sets, but it was important for me to try that. It was my dream. And then I started to do it and realized, this is not my skill set. And when it's not your skill set, it's really not very much fun, and you realize perhaps it's really not your dream. So I was able to switch and went into a program studying a disease of chestnut trees. And to be honest, when I started, I was much more enthusiastic about the plant biology and the fungal biology and not so much about the pathology. But as I started to work in the lab and in the field, I realized that I had a knack for it. And the more successful I was, the more that became my passion. So I think that it's important to remember that trying things and being unsuccessful is just as important as trying things and being successful. So please don't be afraid to fail. Without failure, there is no innovation, as Bill Nye told us yesterday. And as Bill Nye also said, we're hopeful for the future because of you. We're hopeful that we'll be able to feed the world. We're hopeful that we'll be able to have agriculture and plant science in an environmentally sustainable manner and keep the plant diversity on the globe that there is. And we're hopeful that you will bring us there. So thank you. So, on to the individual recognition. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Tony DiTomaso, who is the Director of Undergraduate Studies for the Agricultural Sciences major. Tony.
Thank you, everyone. Again, my name is Tony DiTomaso. And I'll mention this, I'm a weed scientist. And I study the real weeds, as I tell folks. Seriously, I just want to, first of all, thank you, Chris, and a round of applause for Chris, our director of the school. I won't go on into how I got here, but I'll just tell you one thing. If you notice from my last name, you probably got the sense that I may be of Italian extraction. I am. I was born in Italy. The reason I say that is that basically all of you are my family, la familia. So I am just as excited as many of you to have your sons, daughters, friends, siblings graduate, and I see this as my extended family. So I want to, thank you for all the support that you've provided to our students in the agricultural sciences and plant sciences majors. I know what it takes. I know I've spoken to many of your kids basically about the ups and downs, and one thing that was important was that your support, the family. I always asked them, what does your mom and dad think? How's your family? And they always thought that that was kind of the backbone. So again, thank all of you for being here. I know some of you have come from real far to be here. So moving on to the program, what we'll be doing is we'll start with the agricultural sciences majors, and what I'll be doing is announcing the names of each of the students. You've got the pamphlet, the program with the bios that are very detailed. I'm only pulling a snippet of it, just a couple of lines to at least give you a sense of these individuals. But please, there is so much more to each of these individuals. So the 2 lines that I read do not basically summarize what these young folks have done. And I have great hope in their future. I know I'm going to be following them throughout their career. So with that, we'll start with our first graduate, which is Elias Abelera. Is Elias here? Congratulations. So Elias graduates with a concentration in business as well as a minor in business. After graduation, he begins work at a New Jersey law firm. Congratulations, Elias. Next up, Alora Atia. Alora graduates with a double major in plant sciences, a concentration in crop production and management, and a minor in nutritional sciences. She is currently interviewing and plans a future in graduate school. Congratulations. I noticed that they put a bouquet of flowers here, so I cannot lunge at these students. So it's the Italian thing. Sorry about that. Next, Jonathan Berlingeri. Johnny, come on up. Johnny graduates magna cum laude. That's good. That means he's done really well. With a concentration in crop production and management and a minor in plant breeding, he will officially finish his degree in December and plans graduate studies. Way to go, Johnny. Amanda Bond. Amanda, come on up. Amanda graduates with a concentration in business and crop production and management. This fall, she begins the Ithaca College MAT Master's Program in Agricultural Education. Congratulations. Aaliyah Butler-Jones. Come on up, Aaliyah. Aaliyah graduates magna cum laude with a concentration in crop production and management and minor in horticulture. After graduation, she begins work in the School of Integrative Plant Science as a Wheat Science Extension Aide with the Jenny Keoniffen Lab. Congratulations, Aaliyah. Matthew Chartrand, or as they say in French Canada, Chartrand. Matt graduates magna cum laude with a concentration in crop production and management and organic agriculture. After graduation, he will enter either the organic vegetable or industrial hemp industry. Okay, next up, we've got Ethan English. Come on up, Ethan. Ethan graduates with a concentration in crop production and management and a minor in agribusiness management. After graduation, he begins work for Caravale Inc. Kenneth Fest. Ken, come on up. Ken graduates cum laude with a concentration and minor in business. This September, he begins work as a consultant for EY in New York City. Congratulations. Robert Galbraith. Rob, come on up. Rob graduates cum laude with a concentration and minor in business. After graduation, he begins work as an agricultural investment analyst for MetLife. Peter Gaskell. Peter, come on up. Peter graduates cum laude with a concentration in crop production and management as well as minors in agribusiness management and horticulture. He has already returned to work with the family nursery and greenhouse business. Ms. Maya Gibbs. Maya, come on up. Maya graduates with a concentration in crop production and management and a minor in agribusiness management. After graduation, she begins work for E&J Gallo in winery operations management. I want to be there. Man, wineries? This is awesome. Way to go. Sarah Grantmeyer. Come on up, Sarah. Sarah graduates with a concentration in sustainable agriculture and a minor in environmental and sustainability sciences. After graduation, she joins the orchard management team at Fishkill Farms. Chase Habig. Chase, come on up. Chase graduates cum laude with a concentration and minor in animal science as well as a minor in business. After graduation, he starts work at Silva's Holstein Dairy in California. John Harvey. Come on up, John. John graduates with concentrations in crop production and management and business. After graduation, he begins work as a field technician for Champlain Valley Agronomics. Rebecca Hempstead. Come on up, Becky. There's Becky's team back there. That's good. Becky graduates with a concentration in business and minors in business and international agriculture and rural development. After graduation, she will explore work opportunities abroad. Congratulations, Becky. Rohan Kandel. Rohan. Come on up, Rohan. Rohan has survived the Ithaca after, coming from Nebraska, so this is big. Rohan graduates with a concentration and minor in business. After graduation, he plans to stay in New York to explore opportunities in finance and corporate development. Anna Lamb. Anna graduates with a concentration in education and communication. After Cornell, she starts a fellowship at a Chilean vineyard. Now that's where I want to go. Hannah Maloney. Hannah graduates with a concentration in crop production and management. After graduation, she moves to New Hampshire to work on a 50-acre fruit farm and cider house. Lauren Martucci. Come on up, Lauren. Lauren graduates cum laude with a concentration in crop production and management. After graduation, she will work for the Cornell Soil Health Lab. Nicholas Mayer. Nicholas graduates with concentrations in crop production and management and business, as well as a horticulture minor. This summer, he begins a horticulture internship at Harvard University's Arnold Arboretum. Hannah Merrill. Hannah graduates with a concentration in business and a minor in agribusiness management. After graduation, she begins managing a 100-cow organic dairy herd in central New York. Reese Moeller. I just skipped Sarah. Sorry, Sarah. I'll get to you. So Reese graduates with a concentration in crop production and management. After Cornell, he will continue exploring his passions for soccer, natural resources, and agriculture. Sorry about that, Sarah. -5 on my exam. Okay. Sarah Millsbaugh. Come on up, Sarah. Sarah graduates cum laude with a concentration and minor in business, along with a minor in viticulture and enology. After graduation, she begins her job as a credit analyst with Farm Credit East. Carolyn Moltzer. I'm not sure if Carolyn is here, but I'll just quickly read. Carolyn graduates with a double major in international agriculture and rural development, a concentration in education and communication, and minors in soil science and global health. This summer, she begins work as an assistant grower for an urban hydroponic farm in Seattle. So congratulations, Carolyn. Kelsey O'Hare. Come on up, Kelsey. Kelsey graduates magna cum laude with a concentration in education and communication and minor in animal science. After Cornell, she begins the Ithaca College MAT Master's Program in Agricultural Education. Diana Otis. Diana. Diana graduates cum laude with a double major in environmental and sustainability sciences, a concentration in sustainable agriculture, and a minor in viticulture and enology. After graduation, she starts a winemaking internship with E&J Gallo. There's a theme here with wineries, guys. Read it. I'm in the wrong field. Okay. Christopher Pinkney. Chris, come on up. Chris graduates cum laude with a concentration and minor in business. Today, Chris is working for Jet.com and Walmart e-commerce as a category specialist. Haley Pfeiffer. It's not here. Let me just quickly. Haley graduates with a concentration in animal science. After Cornell, she heads to Wisconsin to learn management and do research on a 9,000 head calf ranch. So, congratulations, Haley. Margot Pickney. Come on up, Margot. Margot graduates magna cum laude with a concentration in crop production and management and a horticulture minor. This summer, she will be assistant grower with Space on Ryder Farm, which is in eastern New York State. Congratulations. Danilo Pivaral Alvarez. Danilo graduates with a concentration in crop production and management, as well as a minor in plant sciences. After May, he returns to Chicago to grow his involvement in the urban ag movement. Congratulations. Chase Stitzer. Chase graduates with a concentration in business. After graduation, he has commissioned into the Marine Corps and will be stationed in Quantico, Virginia. Last but not least, Bronte Zhang. Come on in, Bronte. So Bronte is from Beijing, China. After graduation, she'll will remain in the U.S. to continue internship work before graduate school. Congratulations. And again, let's just have one big round of applause for all of our excellent graduates. So at this time, I would like to introduce the Associate Dean for Academic Programs for the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, Professor Don Valjans, who is going to be presenting a number of awards for some of our graduates. Don?
Thank you, Johnny. Good morning, everyone. So there is an award that the Plant Sciences major has the privilege of awarding every year, and this year we have 3 students who will receive the Charles A. Ring Memorial Award. So while I say a couple of comments about what the award is about, let me just invite the 3 students up here, Jonathan Price, Tommy Sheeter, and George Stack. So if you could come up on the... So this award is based on the students having the highest GPA during the 3 semesters prior to this current one. And these students have excelled in many ways. I won't go into a lot of details on that. But I do want to say that each student will receive a certificate and also a $225 check. Now, the money for the check comes from the payout of an endowment that was left by Charles A. Ring back more than 100 years ago, back in 1913. And he did that for 2 reasons. One is because his father, William Ring, was a personal friend of the founder of this university, who was Ezra Cornell. And the second reason is because he himself benefited greatly by the advice that this college gave to Charles himself for his farming. So I want to just congratulate each of these 3 students on behalf of the faculty and staff of the School of Integrative Plant Science. And I'll present each of you with your certificate here. So again, congratulations to each of the three of you. Next, I would like to invite Marvin Pritz to come to the podium. Marvin is a professor in horticulture in the School of Integrative Plant Science, and he's also the director of undergraduate studies for the plant sciences major. Marvin?
It's my pleasure to introduce to you the graduates in the plant sciences, starting with Yuki Chen. Grew up in Duluth, Minnesota. He's been fascinated with plants since he was 10 years old. At Cornell, he concentrated in plant breeding and genetics, and he will be going to the University of Minnesota after graduating cum laude. Congratulations, Yuki. Maybe he's already in Minnesota.
You might be late.
You might be late. I had him in class too. So, Michaela. Great. Michaela is an Army veteran with a love of singing and plants. Transferring from Finger Lakes Community College, she joined the Cornell University Chorus immediately upon arriving at Cornell. She's a member of Phi Theta Kappa and Phi Alpha Xi Honor Societies, an active member of the Cornell Undergraduate Veterans Association, and worked in the Pulaski lab with fungi and endobacteria. Elisa Doyle. Elisa transferred into the plant sciences major her sophomore year. She was involved with Phi Alpha Xi also, and was a founding member of Epsilon Eta, which is a newer sustainability fraternity on campus. After graduating, she will be staying in Ithaca and starting a job as a research assistant at the Boyce Thompson Institute, where she'll be working with physalis plants. Kylie Barbaugh. Kylie concentrated in plant breeding and genetics and worked under Dr. Michael Mazurik and Dr. Mark Ridgen in their plant breeding laboratories. A Cornell Tradition Fellow for all 4 years as an undergraduate, she was able to volunteer in Nicaragua in January of 2018 and went to India this past January. These trips encouraged her to continue to travel around the world, learning about different cultures and exploring the role that agriculture plays in community. Emily Pollock. Emily actually graduated in December, and she is known as the apple lady around campus here. She loves apples. She worked in a post-harvest lab, studied abroad at the Norwegian University of Life Sciences, and was president of the Nordic ski team. She's already begun work for AgroFresh, a company that specializes in post-harvest solutions for apples, working as a technical representative in the eastern U.S. She's graduating today cum laude. Hannah Fuller isn't with us today. She's a double major in international agriculture, and they had their ceremony this morning, so she's there. But I just want to say a few words about this remarkable young woman. She is graduating cum laude, and her recognition was she was one of only 2 students in the entire college that was recognized with the SUNY Chancellor's of Excellence Award. She served on the executive board of Annabelle Taylor's Grocery, worked for Cornell Outdoor Education, danced with Pandora Dance Troupe, worked in the Bowerly Lab, and served as a COWS ambassador. This summer, she was in India at the Tata Cornell Institute for Agricultural Nutrition with the COWS Global Fellows Program. So Hannah's not here, but we should recognize. Denise, give us a Luca. Denise is a first-generation Mexican-American, graduating with a concentration in human health and a minor in global health. Her time at Cornell brought engaging collaborative international and local opportunities through research, extension, and project implementation. She discovered her interest in social justice, human rights, and public health through her involvement with the Committee of U.S. Latin American Relations. And she also helped found and lead Nature RX, a student organization that fosters spending time outside of nature to improve one's overall health.
Thank you.
Garrett knows that he really liked his time at Cornell. He loved his classes. They were fun and interesting. He played club soccer. He was in Phi Alpha Xi, and everywhere and in between. His family and friends are wonderful and supportive. Congratulations. Gabriel Green. Gabriel is interested in the intersection of design and controlled environment agriculture. As a sophomore, he transferred into plant sciences from biological sciences after becoming involved in the hydroponics club. Since then, his passion and interest in CEA has deepened, and he has been the primary investigator of his own research into the performance of hydroponic dragoon lettuce. After graduation, Gabe will be working at an Agbotic, a robotic soil-based greenhouse. Simone Lando. Simone is interested in viticulture or pomology and will be spending the next few years harvest hopping to gain experience in the wine industry. Her fond memories of Cornell include reminiscences of her time as a resident advisor to freshmen. Her lasting contribution will be her insistent at the placement of a printer in a plant science lounge, and she says when she graduates and makes lots of money, she's going to provide free printing for all the students. Moe Lee. After graduating cum laude, Moe is going to attend graduate program in molecular genetics at The Ohio State University. And she has a university fellowship to go there. She was part of the partnership between COWS and Zhejiang University in China. She will be receiving degrees from both universities. Aaron Lau. Aaron transferred from Finger Lakes Community College in 2017. During her high school years, she was involved in horticultural research with Dr. Steve Reiners. And then later she came here to Cornell to work. She met plant pathology students at Cornell Agritech up in Geneva and became interested in disease plants and vegetables, sort of like our director. Karen did research in various plant pathology labs throughout her years as an undergraduate. Today she's graduating cum laude and will start her master's program at Penn State University this fall. Margaret Lovier. Margaret is graduating magna cum laude with a plant and human health concentration. Her favorite memories from her 4 years at Cornell are taking agriculture courses in Ireland at the University of College in Dublin, and turning over the summer at the Cornell Botanic Gardens and enjoying sunny days on the Ag Quad. Sarah Marino. Sarah is graduating with a concentration in plants and human health, a minor in entomology, and a minor in theater, focusing on theatrical design. At Cornell, she's been on the steering committee of Nature RX and served as the club's president, and she was a co-president of Phi Alpha Xi, the horticulture fraternity that you've already heard about. Sarah interned with Ball Horticulture in the Gardens program, and she worked with Cam Hudson as a garden educator and at Stone Barns Center for Food and Agriculture. Sarah is interested in pursuing a master's degree in landscape architecture. Parker McPhee. Parker grew up in a small farm in upstate New York. His work at Sheldon Farms, the 6th generation potato farm in his hometown, led to his interest in plant science and agriculture. During his time at Cornell, Parker's been an active member of Alpha Gamma Rho, a nationally recognized agricultural fraternity in which he served on the executive board. After graduation, Parker will be working for Schumacher Companies in West Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Patrick O'Brien. Patrick is a first-generation college student and a veteran. He is a National Science Foundation Fellow, McNair Scholar, and CALS Global Fellow. In his time at Cornell, he conducted agricultural research abroad with our international partners in Kenya. He's a proud member of Honors Fraternity, Alpha Zeta, and the Undergraduate Horticulture Club Hortus Forum. He is continuing at Cornell University, pursuing a PhD in the Crop Sciences section under Dr. Andrew McDonald. Roxanne Padilla. Roxana hails from San Antonio, Texas, is graduating with a concentration in sustainable plant production. Her curiosity in plants started with a floral design course in high school, but it quickly shifted to an interest in science behind the plants. Roxana has had a very interesting horticultural internship at the San Antonio Zoo last summer. Jonathan Price. Jonathan was part of the Cornell potato breeding program for the last 4 years as a field technician, helping in all aspects of the program, from equipment maintenance to harvest. He's president of Hortus Forum, the Undergraduate Horticulture Club. He's been involved with the club since his first semester at Cornell, playing a large role in greenhouse growing in addition to his leadership of the club. After graduating summa cum laude today, he will be employed by Sturman Masser Potato Farms as an agronomist and equipment operator. Sung Ching. Sung is graduating summa cum laude with a double major in biometry and statistics and plant science. This April, he received the CALS Academic Excellence Award for the double major category. He worked with Professor Hugh Goff in analyzing population structure and with Professor Yu on adverse drug-drug interaction prediction. His efforts produced two first-authored papers, and in April 2019, he presented his work at the Ivy League Undergraduate Research Symposium. He's been on the Dean's List every semester, was also named a Merrill Presidential Scholar, and the CALS class of 2019 Degree Marshal. After graduation, he will pursue a PhD in computational biology. George Stack. George grew up in his family's Christmas tree farm in Boston Spa. He worked in Dr. Jennifer Thaler's lab for 2 years and completed a research honors thesis under the advising of Dr. Thaler and Zoe Getman-Pickering. Last summer, George is a summer scholar in Dr. Larry Smart's lab at Cornell Agritech. His honors include graduating summa cum laude with distinction in research, an NSF honorable mention, plus membership into Hanandaka and Phi Alpha Xi honor societies. This fall, George is excited to return to Dr. Smart's lab to pursue a PhD in plant breeding and genetics. Mark Sabal. After being raised in a small agricultural community less than an hour away from Ithaca, Mark began his career in agricultural sciences, although he found his home in the plant sciences. In addition to working in multiple plant pathology laboratories, he actively participated in the Cornell Tradition, a campus program focused on scholarship, work, and community service. There he worked as a member of the Student Advisory Council, allowing him to further develop his skills in leadership and community involvement. Tommy Lynn Scheider. After graduating summa cum laude with distinction in research, Tommy will be interning for a landscape architecture and maintenance firm outside of Boston. In the long run, she hopes to bring more people to appreciate the natural world by introducing them to plants through green spaces. Whether through public gardens or private backyards, she hopes to bridge the gap between nature and society, bringing environmental consciousness into our everyday lives. Matthew Tomaszewski. Matthew transferred from the College of Art, Architecture, and Planning. He's very passionate about backpacking and the environment, and he plans to pursue a graduate degree in the field of ecology. Matthew is also a 4-year varsity athlete on the heavyweight crew team and captain his senior year. Rachel Vanasek. Rachel concentrated in sustainable plant production and minored in business. Some of her proudest moments at Cornell come from her 2 years as a peer mentor of the freshman plant science majors. She has also spent time learning and teaching swing dance as the vice president of the Cornell Swing Dance Club. She has accepted an internship working at the greenhouses in Walt Disney World to learn more about hydroponic food production and science communication. Zhejing Xu. Maggie grew up in Hangzhou, China, and transferred from Zhejiang University. She first majored in applied bioscience and now in plant sciences, while minoring in biometry and statistics. Maggie is interested in research and started working in labs her freshman year. She worked as a vice minister in the HR department of Zhejiang University Youth League Student Union. She began learning Chinese folk dancing at the age of 5 and was a member of the Wei Jing Dance Club. After graduating magna cum laude, she plans to spend the summer traveling around China before entering the University of Wisconsin-Madison for her PhD. Shane Zhang. Shane grew up in China and transferred from China Ag University. At Cornell, she's concentrating in plant breeding and genetics and computational plant biology. She has worked several terms as a researcher in the Gore Lab. As she finishes her degree, and she's going to be graduating magna cum laude with distinction in research, she's accepted a PhD offer in the crop science department at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. So, anybody we missed? Actually, 1 year it happened, so I always have to ask. So let's give our graduates one last round of applause. So before we conclude, I want to give a special thanks to those of you in the audience who gave your love and support and your money to allow the students to fulfill their dream of graduating from Cornell. I'm sure you're very proud of them, as are we. This is a very bittersweet moment for those of us in the faculty and staff. We've known many of your sons and daughters for 4 years, some even a little longer, and have grown quite fond of them. We've had these students in our classes and in our labs. We've shared meals together, traveled together to exotic places around the world, and even danced together. We will not forget you. And students, now you're one step closer to being our professional colleagues. Our last request is for you not to forget us. Please keep in touch and let us know how you're doing. One of the joys of being a professor is to get a letter from a former student telling us about your success, and noting that you plan to send your own kids to Cornell to major in plant sciences or ag sciences. In just a moment, graduates will be invited onto the stage for photos. We want to remind you all that there will be lunch in the Trillium at the end of the ceremony. So as you leave Cornell, with your diploma in one hand and your e-portfolio in the other, I want to offer you a blessing on behalf of the faculty and staff and SIPs. May the seeds of knowledge that germinated inside you be forever nurtured with the sunlight of curiosity, the rain of passion, and the substrate of lifelong learning, so that your branches reach to the sky, growing ever upward to new heights of accomplishment and fulfillment, but with your roots still firmly planted and anchored in that fertile hill high above Hugo's Wives.
This has been a production of Cornell University, on the web at cornell.edu.